What's going on, everybody? Nazdarachi here, back with a quick update for Final Fantasy Record Keeper. The second relic banner for the Dawn of a Legend Final Fantasy 1 event has dropped, and we're going to quickly check that out. We're also going to quickly check out the last 3 dungeons that they added in the event itself, and just kind of go over what the parameters are for those. They also added a multiplayer dungeon, so we might just look at that briefly as well. So getting right into it, we have a new shield. Well, I use the word new loosely because this item has been around for a little bit, but you have a armor for the Warrior of Light, has a constant, no synergy required boost to holy damage, 131 defense, which is pretty good, resistance 87, which is not great, but if you happen to get this item, it will be useful. Drawing in Banner 1, if you're looking to get your Warrior of Light up to par, is probably a better idea because you have a chance for 2 swords for him and a piece of armor. But this, like I said, will still be useful if you don't happen to have anything else for him. So Burst Soul Break Ultimate Shield, deal 8 physical, holy, and non-elemental attacks to one target, infuse the user with the power of Holy Light, and grant haste and burst mode to the user. Nothing really out of the ordinary. Burst ability, Stroke of Light, deal between 1 and 5 physical, holy, and non-elemental attacks to one target. The number of attacks dealt depends on the user's defense. So there's a little bit of variability to that ability, which is not really ideal, but hopefully it triggers fairly often at the 5 attacks. Crystallize, deal 2 physical, holy, and non-elemental attacks to all targets and temporarily raise the user's defense a moderate amount. Probably want to lead with that one, because it will obviously increase the amount of attacks you get. All in all, this item it's okay. It's nothing insane, but like I said, it's something good to have for the Warrior of Light if you don't have anything else for sure. And Banner 1 is probably the one to draw on if you're looking to increase your Warrior of Light. So we got an axe for Garland here. No bonus effects, no synergies. 128 attack, which is okay for a 5-star item. Alrighty, so your Burst Soul Break Dark Rebirth, deal 6 physical dark attacks to one target and grant haste and burst mode to the user. Temporarily infuse the user with the power of dark. Death Blow, deal physical dark damage to one target, healing the user for a portion of the damage dealt. Wave of Darkness, deal 2 ranged physical dark attacks to all targets. I really see functionality with this being in a dark-themed team when you're comboing, like I said, with Fusoya, Golbez, some other powerful dark characters, but by itself this is nothing too crazy, but it does make Garland, more functional. So not a terrible item, but nothing really noteworthy. Alrighty, now we're getting to Matoya, and I like some of the stuff that he's got going on here. I really like this. It's got some cool little properties to it, and it's a broom. So you got attack 55, magic 130, no bonus effects sadly, but adds a soul break to Matoya. Inner Eye, deal 8 magic, fire, ice, and lightning attacks to one target, and grant haste and burst mode to the user. Deals 10 attacks if the target has a slight weakness or is already vulnerable to fire, ice, or lightning. So basically you'll get 2 extra attacks if the opponent you're playing against or use the attack against is weak to one of the 3 main elements, or if they're not weak to it and you've used another character, for example, to force a weakness, then you will get those 2 extra attacks with fire, ice, and lightning as well. That's pretty cool, I like that. Burst abilities, Fire Frost Chant, deal 4 magic, fire, and ice attacks to one target, and Flame Bolt Chant, deal 4 magic, fire, and lightning attacks to one target. So the enemy really has to be weak to fire to get the maximum usability out of this, but if they're not weak to either lightning or ice, you can work that to your advantage. I wish the attacks were a little bit different from each other besides just having one elemental difference, but it's still kind of neat. I like that Matoya's got this cool little abilities here with this broom. So Matoya again, we got armor for him, the Witch's Brew, Super Soul Break, it's a robe. You get minor ice resistance, which is always active, defense 90 and resistance 138. So consistent with caster items, it's got much more magical protection than physical protection. It is evenly split magic and mine 17, kind of cool. Temporarily raise the attack and magic of all allies a moderate amount and grant them major regen. This is fairly useful. You'll be able to use this with Mecha Might or Tiro's Record Materia and definitely get a boost straight out the gate. I do like this item. You will use this one more often than not over his other Soul Break first, but then you can definitely lead into that other one, and this will help boost the damage of that one as well. So this is pretty cool. I like this item. Either one of these items from Matoya makes him pretty neat character. Another weapon for Garland, just a super Soul Break this time, 134 attack axe. So actually higher attack than his other weapon. That's quite interesting. But super Soul Break instead, deal 5 physical, dark, and non-elemental attacks to all targets and temporarily lower their attack and defense a large amount. I honestly think this weapon might be more useful than his burst Soul Break. It is a group debuff, usable in boss fights as well as kind of like a double break. Probably stacks with full break and other break mechanics as well, and dances, so that is an honestly better weapon than his burst one. Let's go back and check that out real quick. Yeah, this one's only 128, so it's lower attack, and I don't know, the burst mode on it makes it pretty cool, but honestly I think his Gigantax right here is better. Alrighty, we got a weapon for Sarah here. 80 attack, 68 magic, 128 mind. It's a loot. No bonus effects. Ancient loot. Restore a large amount of HP to all allies and grant them haste. Even this has a little bit of functionality to it, but her burst or other armor from Banner 1 is probably preferred to this. But if you happen to get this and didn't already have something in Banner 1 or didn't draw on Banner 1 like I did, this is not terrible. Alrighty, we got Super Soul Break Mythic Maracas for Echo. Small chance to confuse, a constant no synergy required bonus effect. 82 attack, 125 magic, 63 mind. Weapon here, Super Soul Break Breaker's Gift. Deal 3 magic non-elemental attacks to all targets and temporarily lower their magic and resistance a large amount. So this is like Garland's axe, but the other two properties, instead of attack and defense, it's magic and resistance. Not great, but I don't know, man. I'm not gonna go nuts on this banner. And that's pretty much everything. The Dark Plate and the Helmet of Light were featured in the first banner, so I'm not gonna go over those again. And I will do a 100 gem draw just to see if I get anything. I haven't gotten anything in 3 100 gem draws, so maybe we'll get lucky. We did not. That's okay though. So I'm not going to draw on that banner because I'm saving up all my mithril for the anniversary banners. There will be as well another 25 mithril draw that's going to have a lot of Final Fantasy VIII items in it coming up here before anniversary, and I think I may even skip that just because every mithril I could possibly get my hands on is going to be useful for anniversary because there's lots of items I got my eyes on and I know I probably won't get them. So briefly going over the final 3 dungeons they added to the event here, just in case people can't click on them yet. You'll be able to see kind of what you get as well as what you'll need to do. So the first ultimate dungeon was the False King, difficulty 140, standard setup here. You get 4 major earth orbs, 1 holy crystal for mastery, then the crown, a 5-star accessory that boosts magic, major white orb 3, and 12 3-star bravery modes. Boss is this little Astos imp. He is really annoying with magic, silences, and blind. So you're definitely going to want to have either artifacts equipped to your accessory slot that prevent blind and silence, or some Asunas on someone that has some kind of resistance to get everyone back on track. That really was the hardest part of this battle, was managing those blinds and silences that he does. Once you get past that, it's not terribly difficult. He's mostly magic, so you're just going to want to magic break him, defense break him, and slowing him is very useful as well. It's actually one of the requirements for you to get champion, so you're definitely going to want to slow him and kind of take advantage of that, because he is quite obnoxious. The first half of the fight really is nothing, and then as long as you can manage his debuffs, you shouldn't really have too much difficulty. Moving to the 160 difficulty, Champions of Chaos. You have to fight 4 enemies back to back to back, but they don't have very much health. So you get the Major Earth Orb 5 and Major Holy Orb 5 for Mastery. You get an Earth Crystal for just completing it, and your Memory Crystal Load 3 to get to level 99 with anyone you want. Dexterity Mode, well, anyone available anyway. And then you get 18 Dexterity Mode 3 stars as well. So like I said, you gotta face 4 guys back to back. It starts with the Lich, then it goes to the Snake Chick, then it goes to the Kraken, and then Tiamat. So the Lich is most of your bonus condition. You have to hit him with Fire and Holy, and then the Kraken you need to hit him with Lightning. If you do that, you should be able to get champion fairly easily. None of them have a particularly large amount of health, so really the Lich here is going to use magic attacks, so you're going to want to Shelga. She's mostly physical with the swords, then back to kind of magic and physical, and then mostly magic with Tiamat as well. I mean, if you remember playing them in the dungeon leading up to this, they're kind of the same, just with more powerful attacks and a little tougher. My party started dying off when I got to Tiamat, but Celis obviously had her Indomitable Blade up, and she was able to clean up for me, and I got a champion on this one in only 1 try, so it wasn't terribly difficult. But you basically just want to burst everybody down as quick as you can after you set up your buffs, and I took a Roaming Warrior that just had a wall effect to kind of up my survivability a little bit, and I got through this one pretty quickly. So the 180 dungeon, as well, is fairly typical for events here. You get the 30-30 Adamantite and Giant Scarletite, a Power Crystal, and an Ice Crystal. The boss is Chaos Ultimate Plus Plus. He's mostly magic based, and he does a lot of just group attacks non-stop. He has a chance to stop you as well, but that didn't happen too often when I tried to fight him. I did try to fight him once, and I got half his health down, and then I lost just because of his constant group attacks. He's resistant to all elements. He's a pain in the ass, but you kind of just want to do typical stuff to him. You're going to want to break him, magic defense. You have full break, just use that. And I brought Banishing Strike to remove his haste effect, but he's not weak to Holy, so it doesn't do a horrifically large amount of damage to him. I really just kind of got everyone to do as much attack and so much DPS as possible, and I just died in the long run because I had a couple of the wrong abilities. Don't bring Meltdown to this fight because it's really not going to help you out at all. Interestingly enough, Poison does a reasonably good amount of damage to him if you are bringing a Black Mage, but honestly, Black Mages, period, are just not going to be terribly useful for you in this fight, so I would bring mostly like Knights and support and DPS characters, and as well, you know, a White Mage, just to keep everyone back on track. You want group heals. Asylum would be useful, but you know, if you can just prevent his group attack damage and mitigate that, then you shouldn't really have too much difficulty beating this. I was doing pretty good damage to him. I just, like I said, couldn't outlast his group attacks. So that's all the dungeons, and they also added Garland as a multiplayer raid. So let's just briefly look at that, and we will be done here. So you have Garland here, get some more motes. It's a 160 and 200, so for the little better players here, let's just check out the parameters. Boss is going to be Garland. He's going to be a lot of physical stuff, obviously. He's got a Blaze magic attack, Earthquake, Tsunami, So Shelga is going to be useful too. Gonna obviously want to bring probably a DPS and then some type of support to this one in your team of 2 people. Lower his attack, lower his magic. So yeah, bring a support that can either do white magic to heal everybody, shell, protect, and then as well you're going to want another one. Hopefully someone on the team will be able to do a lot of the breaking, because you're going to want to break him of all his abilities you can. So I'll try for that later. Anyway guys, that's kind of wrapping up all the new information here. I hope everybody manages their resources well, because like I said, the anniversary event is coming up soon, so you're not going to want to blow through a ton of resources on this event, obviously. I mean, Final Fantasy 1 is it's good, but it doesn't really come up often enough for the synergy to be that important. You know, I say that now, that might change in the future, but with this second anniversary event coming, you'd be much better off just kind of pooling all your resources and getting ready for that. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this overview of all the stuff they just kind of added here. Keep in touch, and I'll definitely be doing some more Final Fantasy Record Keeper stuff. And for anyone else that may have watched this, I know that I'm doing a lot of Record Keeper stuff here. It's just because there's not really any AAA console or PC games that I really want to showcase right now. That might change when Ghost Recon and Mass Effect comes out, though. So expect new stuff. It won't always be Final Fantasy Record Keeper, but for now, this has just been a fun little thing for me to cover. Hope you guys have a great evening, and I will catch you next time. Later.